Welcome to the Heat Beat Podcast. I'm your host, Giancarlo Navas, and with me today is producer and co-founder Brian Goins.
What's up, guys? Hey, Kelly is 4.
Kelly at the 4. Well, Kelly at the 5, Bam at the 4. We're going to get into that in a second. On the bottom left-hand corner, producer extraordinaire, my good friend, Alex Solana.
This is Greg Olson.
What up?
And on the bottom of the screen, here on twitch.tv/MIHeatBeat, where you can catch all our podcasts and post-game show, Hangover Time, and the pre-game show. We are debuting a brand new pre-game show that has branding and a bunch of stuff, so we're really excited for that. On the bottom of the screen is our professional screw-up. Also, you can hear him on 5 on the floor, Alex Toledo.
Yep.
How's it going, man? It's been a minute. It's good to have you back. Your name says Ethan Skolnick, but that's fine.
Totally forgot we're on Zoom.
No, I know, that's so funny. Like, when you logged in, it's like, oh, what a treat. Ethan's coming on. That's fun.
Yeah, I get Ethan's account just to take some of the production stuff off of it.
Yeah, no, that's good. All right, so, we have this wonderful cast of people here to
some
talk.
of the production stuff or all the production stuff?
All of the production stuff.
Listen, Alex.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about me when you said producer extraordinaire. I don't know.
No. Let me tell you something. Alex is a workhorse wherever he goes. Alex, we need that shirt, the hardest working, best condition, blah, blah. Like, that's you.
Nah.
You're a grinder, and you're up at like 5 in the morning. Alex will text me, chat. I swear to God, I'll get a text at Alex from 5 in the morning or 4 in the morning. He's like, bro, you should listen to like this podcast. Like, oh, Round Ball Rock was hilarious, or like, yo, this Jesus and Marrow pod. I like fucking look at the Round Ball Rock shirt. At like 4:30 in the morning, and I was like, Alex, what are you doing?
Ubering.
Just Ubering.
What, you think I just Uber in silence? Like, I gotta listen to something.
I don't blame you. It's just funny. It's just the odd times. You and the homie Clutch Adam over at 5 Reasons. You guys are the ones that DM.
Oh yeah, me and Adam will only talk at that time of night.
Adam will just Adam has this thing now. Whenever the Raptors lose, he DMs me a picture of Kyle Lowry.
That's hilarious.
It really is.
Wait, what kind of pictures? Like funny pictures?
It just depends. Sometimes it's a Heat jersey shop. I mean, last time it was just I think it was a Clutch Points Kyle Lowry shirt. It's funny. I love it. It's great. Listen, we can get into that later.
Do you own a Kyle Lowry jersey yet?
I don't. I don't like
jerseys.
jerseys. I have 2 Heat jerseys. I have a D Wade Reebok jersey from 2005, like the old school, the Reebok jerseys, and I have an Adidas. I think it's an Adidas Wade. It's a white one. I got it when he left. So I was at Miami International and I was walking by the Heat store, and they had it was a sad Swingman Wade jersey for like $30 on sale, and I was like, I should get this. And because I didn't have a white, although I don't think I've ever worn it. So
that was probably right before they switched over to Nike. So you actually got the better quality jersey because the Adidas ones are so much nicer.
Are they? You
Alex,
think so? I disagree.
Solana, I don't look good in jerseys. Like I'm not Christian Hernandez or statistician. Like I can't pull off a jersey.
Yeah. You're right. You don't look good in jerseys, and
I don't.
I have like 50 Heat jerseys. I don't ever wear them. I literally have a Kenny Hasbrook jersey. I have a Patrick Beverly.
You have the most random jersey collection.
Yeah. I have
your jersey collection's more random than
should I bring down some of my best jerseys? Well,
Kenny Hasbrook.
I have a Kenny Hasbrook jersey. I have a Patrick Beverly Miami Heat jersey.
Why?
That is
impossible. Is that like a training camp jersey?
Which is a gem.
Before or after you got traded or cut?
Before. That's a gem. That's one of my personal favorites.
How'd you even find one?
Yeah, I mean, I have the hookup. I also, and it's game worn too. I also have
game worn from what game? He didn't even play.
It's game worn. It's game worn.
Preseason.
I also have a number 3 Steve Smith jersey, which I fucking love. I would
That's
wear
pretty cool.
that. I
That's
wore that
nice.
during the LeBron years. I wore the number 3 white Heat jersey to the playoffs. People would ask like, "Why do you have a 3 Smith jersey? Who's Smith?
That's just
Who's the
a
Smith
dick
guy?"
move.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. You know.
Alex, when we do the watch parties, you gotta come in like the like those random jerseys, the most random jerseys that you have. You gotta come in them.
I mean, I just showed you my cards. Kenny Hasbrook is easily that's my go-to because that is my most random jersey I have.
Alex, how fast? Solana, Alex, how fast could you go get the Patrick Beverly jersey? and
Oh,
show
I
on
have
stream?
it right now. Yeah,
All right, you go.
grab it right now.
Alex will go, and we'll
Joey,
talk.
Joey's
BRB.
asking for it.
Okay, Joey's asking.
Did he explain
for
his
the chat.
hockey jersey already?
I don't even want to get into the hockey. That's just an abomination, as you call Jermaine O'Neal's playoff performance against the Celtics. So, Alex, now that we got Solana out of the way, I know it really is. I think about it all the time. I wrote a piece for MiamiHeatbeat.com. It's kind of about the Heat and their power forward situation, a bit of their revolving door there, and how Jay Crowder really left a hole. It turned into a hit piece on Mo Harkless, including my favorite stat, which is Mo Harkless was shooting 17% from the field before yesterday. I don't know if that's changed. He did not make a shot. I don't know if he attempted a shot, so I don't know how those numbers changed. But Mo Harkless was shooting 17% from the field. The Heat have a 78
That means they
offensive.
stay the same.
His true shooting went down, but I don't think his actual field goal percentage went down.
Okay, good for Mo Harkless. Kind of hold steady at 17%. The Heat have a 78 offensive rating when he's on the floor, which is just fucking awful. Second worst net rating on the team behind Kendrick Nunn, who's minus 36 net rating. Harkless is minus 32. So, Alex, the other thing in the stat in the piece that I found that I really thought was interesting is that Harkless was playing like 93% of his minutes at power forward for Miami via cleaning the glass, and I don't think he had eclipsed 60% ever in his career. So it's not really surprising that hasn't looked good. I kind of want, before we get into the Kelly stuff, I kind of want your, because you haven't been on in a long time, I kind of want your thoughts on the Mo Harkless experience.
I mean, he's bad. Like, there's no other way to put it. Like, I think we just talked about him so much, whether it's you guys or Five on the Floor or Heat fans in general. Like, it's obvious at this point. Nobody is arguing otherwise. Nobody would dare to. And, you know, the numbers just prove it. And they're even more, like, I read that piece, and they were even more shocking to me than I thought they would be. Like, he can't even give you a baseline of solid defense and, like, you know, 1-3 a game or even a layup. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, I said to you before the season and also last season when we argued about Mo Harkless for a month for some reason, that he's the most average player in the league. And now, like, he hasn't even been average. He's been so below average. Like, that's a problem. That's a problem. If you can't even get an average baseline from him, it's like, well, he shouldn't be in the rotation, period.
Brian, what are you laughing at?
Christian said that he didn't know that we were having John Cena on the show.
Who's John Cena?
I'm guessing it's Solana.
Why is he John Cena?
Because I think
Because I wasn't
really big
there.
Jersey.
No.
'cause he just-
No,
he
no,
came.
because I was gone, so there was.
You were
nobody-
gone and he came back. Well, we will
And you
reveal
couldn't
the
see me.
jersey in a second. We're gonna have a grand reveal in a second. But Alex, yeah, kind of to your point, like, and he hasn't. You know, we talked about this before. He hasn't been able to guard up, right? So, like, you know, for all the shit we've talked,
Isn't even
He
able
hasn't
to
been-
guard, period. Like, I don't think he's looked good guarding in general.
No.
Like, maybe he's had like a minute or two here and there, but I can't remember.
like, when he's the help defender, when he's that last guy in the back line helping, he's grabbing a 1 rebound per game, which is just fucking absurd. And when he's the last guy kind of helping on that rotation, I was joking that, like, Giannis turns the corner and he starts laughing. He's like, oh, this? Okay. Like, cool. Like, he's going to the rim. He's not scared of him. It's not like, even Olynyk, even though, like, Kelly's not a good defender, at least you know that he's going to be in, like, decent charge position and he's at least going to fish for that. Like, what the fuck does Mo Harkless give you when he's rotating on the help?
Literally nothing. Like, that's the thing. I
foul.
thought you could at least get okay defense from him. He
A
hasn't even
foul.
given you that.
Just a foul.
Joey in the chat says someone has to take the Will picture with Harkless and just edit a 1 on that paper. He's been bad, man. He sucks. Like, I was clamoring for him and he hasn't been
man.
good at all.
Maybe your worst take.
My worst take is I called Okara White Chris Bosh light.
Oh yeah, you said Shaq wouldn't work in today's NBA.
I said Magic Johnson would not be a superstar in today. I've said a lot of bad takes.
Oh,
I don't.
man.
I don't even think that medals, but
He
like
called
it
the
makes the
Raptors
medals.
a good team, and look at them, they're in last place.
Ah, listen, you know what? They are. I'm not gonna make excuses for them. Nick Nurse is throwing people under the bus. Solana, have you seen that? Have you seen what Nick Nurse is doing to like? He's like, Malachi Flynn. I don't really know what he brings you, and I was like, holy shit, what are you doing, dude?
Why'd you bring me in with a Raptors question, Nick Nurse?
I don't know. I
question?
just
no,
I wanted
have
to
not. I have
wanted to
not.
involve you.
I know,
You were
but
supposed
no,
to say Spo would never.
I have not.
Yeah, I was. That was an easy thing. You're just like, wow, Spo would never.
He
Nick
really
Nurse more like
took
Nick
shots
worse.
at multiple guys. Oh wow.
Oh, yeah,
Guy
it's
just
a
completely
thing.
Stole Jack's joke.
Yo, shout out to MCAS for the Prime sub. Really appreciate you. Weird Alf, he gave us bits to ask a question. Said Heat Beat is stealing my funds. So there's that. He also asked, why does Alex love this shit? Is Alex high right now? Does Alex ever get nervous? I don't even know what that is. We read your question.
Wow. You don't recognize that?
No, I don't.
Do other people in here not recognize that?
Yeah, that's a Drake reference. I got you.
Okay.
I
don't like Drake.
But that song is like 10 years old. That's from Take Care.
Yeah, I don't.
And it was on the radio a lot.
Yeah, you have to know that song. You have to know that song.
What's it called? Jesus Christ.
I don't know.
Wait,
I'm bad. I listen.
Marvin.
I've never felt older. Yo, shout out to Notorious Dib for the tier 1 sub.
Fucking right. Hell yeah, fucking right is the name of the song.
Hell yeah, right.
Hell yeah, fucking right.
Heifer.
Yeah, another sub.
We're going to get into questions in a second, guys. I see that you guys are asking. I do want to get a little bit into Olynyk before we kind of pivot to making fun of other coaches. Solana. So they started Olynyk yesterday in what felt like one of my more validating moments ever writing and doing podcasting. It's like literally the day before I wrote this giant piece where essentially I end with the Olynyk and Bam pairing makes sense, and they do it. It looks great. I think the spacing just makes sense. Precious Achiuwa slides in at that center spot as the backup, and he's been absolutely incredible. All the metrics support it, and everybody just kind of fit into the right position, and and Jimmy was obviously there and aggressive, and it just looked like a cohesive team again.
Yeah, and I don't understand why at times Spo is hiding Olynyk, right? Like it just feels like he squeezed them out of the lineup at times. Also, 6 starting lineups through your first 6 games. I understand Spo likes to tinker with the lineups, and I get it. Like I'm not questioning Spo, but like that's not really a recipe for success ever. Like changing your lineup every single game. So give me more Kelly O. Like just give it to me. I want to see more Kelly O in the starting lineup.
It's crazy. It took 6 games for Spo to really realize that KO is probably his best 4 at this point. I don't understand how it took him 6 straight games.
Like Alex, like I understand the thinking behind that. Like you get a guy like, okay, you originally start with Mo Harkless at your 4 because that it just kind of makes sense. Like, you know, okay, he's gonna be that 3-and-D wing. He's gonna spot up. He's gonna play defense. It just doesn't work. And then they start the rotation at center and power forward. And then they start Myers and Bam, and that doesn't work out. And then they start Harkless, Myers and Bam, and that doesn't work out. Then they start Robinson, Iguodala, and Bam. And obviously, you know, kind of Andre guarding up is always a mixed bag. And then you kind of land on Butler, Iguodala, Adebayo, which Nikias had been kind of hammering for. And it didn't look great against the Mavs, which that would be the team to do it because they're very small and they're wingy, and Porzingis wasn't playing, and it just didn't work out. The Olynyk thing, just, I don't know. Everybody, Bam is a good 4. He's a better 5. They're at their best when they have a spot up 3-and-D wing. But I think Alex Toledo in the regular season, they can eat up minutes with that 2-man lineup, and they'll be fine.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at, man. Like I think once you get to the playoffs, it's a different conversation, and it'll probably get, cut as far as, I don't think Olynyk would be a closer or anything like that. But the regular season, it just makes a lot of sense, man, because they I don't think you want to put too much pressure on Bam to just be banging with 4s and 5s every night and having to solve all their mistakes, especially when Harkless is kind of, he's supposed to be the defensive guy, and he's making all these mistakes. So to me, it's like, okay, Kelly knows where to be on defense. He's not a good defender, but that's not going to really be a problem until the playoffs when he gets picked on. On offense, you got 3 guys who are really, really good shooters who can move the ball. Like I think it really makes sense for what they try to do. Like Alex said, like I think it makes them more cohesive in general. It's not a long-term solution. I think that whatever they have, I think they're at the position that they have to make a trade. And it's not even like, this is like even divorced from like Harden stuff.
It's like they need to find a guy to play small ball for. Because for them, when they were at their very best in the playoffs, they were putting Bam around shooters and Jimmy, and they would play high pick and roll when it mattered. Late game, they would run their handoffs off with Duncan. They do all that little pistol nonsense, and they were able to switch on almost every action. They were not dropping. They were switching. They were swarming. They were sending help early from the corners. They were moving on defense. And if you play Kelly, you're just not really allotted that. You really have to play a drop. You have to play a lot more conservative. I think Andre, too, is really effective when you kind of play smaller and quicker because him and Jimmy really get their hands in the passing lanes. They're really smart. And even if they're your backline defenders helping, they're smart. They're going at the ball. Their hands up. He's really long, too.
Strong bases. And like you said, great hands. Like, they round it out. And like I said, like I agree with you there. Iguodala shouldn't be starting either. Even though as much as I like Iguodala, like I just think he's a nice rotation player to have, another good defender to have. But they need another guy. They do. I think it just makes sense when you look at the roster. Like none is getting shifted out of the rotation. Obviously, Harkless and Myers are now. KZ's not playing. Like there's things they could do there to consolidate a little bit, especially if you're talking about a finals team, a contender. But maybe they don't see it that way. Maybe they're just trying to figure out what works and doesn't work.
No, I do think they see it that way. And because I think it's obvious what the recipe was last year in that run of finals, what worked, everything Giancarlo just said. But I don't like the idea of, okay, yeah, they need to go make a trade, just because you've realized that you're missing that piece. Like I don't like being impatient just because, okay, yes, we figured this out, let's go do it now. Just relax. Look at how late in the season they made that Jay Crowder Iguodala trade. And I could be wrong. You could correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember that even being like a part of the discussion. Like I remember just waking up one day and Winslow was gone, and like I could be wrong about that. I just don't remember it happening.
They traded like at 8 p.m. It was like they were leading up to the Gallinari, so it was like Andre plus Jay, and then it became they're trying to reroute Jay plus stuff to Oklahoma City to get Gallinari, and then that fell apart.
Yeah, but my bigger point is let's relax. 6 games into the season. I get it. We all fucking hate Mo, and Kelly O right now might have worked, or it could have just been a case of Oklahoma City's garbage. But I don't like just rushing into a trade because we need to rush into a trade. Let's just relax. Like, the Heat are gonna be a playoff team with this roster. So there's no need to just go out and find somebody just for the sake of finding somebody.
Unless that somebody's James Harden, right?
No, for sure. I was speaking strictly about the stretch 4, right? Like to fill Jay Crowder. That's what I was speaking specifically about.
Can we get PJ Tucker by himself without a Harden trade?
PJ Tucker's shooting 50% from 3 right now.
Yeah, because so Clear and VV in the chat says none plus KO for Tucker. Who says no? I think Houston might. And none has not been very good.
No, man, they're owners for Tita.
Did you? I know you.
None is cheap, and Olynyk's on an expiring contract, isn't he?
And a white guy.
There you go.
Did you see that? Did you see Chef Trilly's tweet when he says there's a blowout game and Kendrick Nunn is getting minutes somehow, and it's the video from Breaking Bad where Jesse goes, "How does he keep getting away with this?" I fucking lost it, dude. I'm just like, my God.
Trilly's the best tweeter we have on Heat Twitter.
Oh no, he's our best. Yeah, like him and Prime Alf, I think are like Mount Rushmore. Not even Prime Alf.
Alf's timeline is too filled with like attacking random guys with terrible takes.
I was about to say that.
I know he says that's his brand, but I'm just saying I prefer Trilly's jokes to.
I'm saying Prime Alf. I'm saying like Alf in his prime. Alf in his prime was good.
It was all right. Too much.
It was he's washed. Alf is the most. Alf just retweets Spivey. He beats shit. And like light skin opinions. I'm
only taking shots because he was supposed to be here tonight and he bailed. I guess he left 5 reasons for a reason. It was to get rid of me. So.
Yeah, it was to duck. No, really, the person who was supposed to be here with you, I think, was Christian. And then
I thought you said it was Alf.
No, it was Moose. It was Moose, and then Moose couldn't do it. And it was Chris, and then Alex stepped in. Alex Solana swooped in.
Listen, man, I get it. Yeah, and shout out to Solana, bringing back the trio, man. Hey, the last time we did a show together.
Panther Sports Talk live trio.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Back in the FIU days.
Fuck you, Brian.
Nobody heard those shows.
I listened to those shows.
5 people in GC heard those shows.
I actually did listen to those shows just for you.
And Alfred. and Alfred.
I used
Shout out to
record
Alfred.
some of them, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, Brandon. Brandon when we had Eric Reed and Cooper Moorhead. Shout out to Coop for doing that.
We actually re-aired that Eric Reed interview.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, shout out to Eric and Coop who are great guys. All right, guys. So the other thing I really wanted to talk about, and we kind of touched on a little bit with Nunn, was the point guard rotation, because I think that at the beginning of the season, that was kind of the conversation. It was like, I don't have a point guard. Tyler Hero's bad at this. We gotta stop. He sucks.
Whose voice is that?
I don't. He twitters. Put him to the bench.
Why is he still 80 years old?
He's scoring 0.7 points per possession as a pick and roll ball handler. This is bad. Turnovers. And
why do you sound like Ron Rothstein?
I don't know. I kind of like that voice. That's gonna be my Heat Twitter voice for this season. Can you do Eric and Tony
real quick?
I can't. No, I'm not. Please? This is not a piano bar. I will not by request. Maybe if 5 people sub, I will do my limited fake Eric Reed and Tony Fiorentino. If 5 people sub, we'll have a sub goal here for an impersonation. Well, then we're not gonna do it. So kind of going back to my point, like they had this like really weird situation with the turnovers and the point guards, and Toledo, I feel like Dave really fixed that. I feel like Avery has really settled them. I think that with Jimmy back, it's looked better when he kind of takes the ball handling reps. I think Tyler has kind of grown into that role a little bit more. He had a comment the other day that he said that he likes starting more because the game gets to come to him as opposed to the responsibility of being a spark plug. So I see people tweeting about it, but I kind of feel like that stuff is solved.
Man, like I feel pretty good about Tyler starting right now. I think still the way to go. I thought the turnover thing was a little bit overstated as far as with Tyler. Like I think they all had a bad start in general as a team. It wasn't more on one person, but if it was going to be on one person doing it more often than they should, it was Bam, right? And we all love Bam here, but he clearly had an uptick there with the turnovers. I do think it's better now, with no Kendrick Nunn playing. And again, not trying to be too mean about Nunn and Harkless, but the less that they play, the better they look. And I'm not trying to oversimplify it, but I do think that's something that's just kind of proven to be true so far over these first few games, that those guys don't really fit with the rotation. I like what they've got with Dragic and Bradley off the bench. I think you could start Bradley if you wanted to. I wouldn't be completely against that. But Tyler Herro, I think he's looked good, man. I think people have overstated his struggles. Like I think he's obviously not completely developed yet, but he keeps making these baby steps. Like he's looked good with the pull-up. He's looked good playmaking. He's had all-around games. Like I think he's done a little bit of everything at a pretty high level, and his turnovers have not been that high.
So he's scoring 1.2 points per possession as a pick-and-roll ball handler, which is like insane. Awesome. Yeah, he's in the 91st, almost 92nd percentile of pick-and-roll ball handlers, and Solana, like when we kind of went into the bubble last season, they were kind of giving him those reps and it looked a little rocky to start, and he just looked great in that role after a little bit. And I think we've kind of had the same situation happen, and I think probably playing without Jimmy hurt him a little bit because it's just a lot of responsibility, but yeah, he's looked really good lately.
Yeah, I think in the bubble, when he did look shaky playmaking, it was just overcompensating with him hitting big shots, and we were all obsessing over the fact that literally in every game he was hitting a big shot. Bro, to Toledo's point, passing by Herro, like his playmaking ability, but specifically just passing the ball, he looks like a fucking veteran, man. Like truly, like he looks like a veteran. I was really impressed in the past 2 games with his playmaking ability. I don't remember what you asked me because I wanted to get that point out. But
I mean, he's at 5 assists this year. Just looks like 4.7.
He's not even a point guard, really.
He would have had a triple double. He would have had a triple double last night, by the way, had he played most of the second half or the fourth quarter. Like he's gonna be that kind of guy where he's gonna get a night where he can stack up triple doubles. Like that's fucking awesome.
Like I think
it's weird.
Yeah, I think the two
things, and sense to me.
Because he gets in there, man. Like he's the first motherfucker jumping. He has really like good intuition. He has really good timing. I know he's like really like not a big guy. He's kind of weak and he has short arms, but
to me that's all that's missing with him is like getting stronger, getting a stronger base, which is gonna happen, over time, obviously. But that's really the one because I just think
come back. I was really shocked though. I know it was only 2 months, but he didn't come back in any way, shape, or form bigger. Like I was really expecting that from the time of the bubble ending to us starting the season. Again, I understand shortened off season, but 2 months, like or whatever, 10 weeks, you would expect A little bit of muscle, a little bit of bulk, like extra protein shakes. Nothing. Like, dude looks just as skinny as he did in the finals.
He told me he was gonna play point guard.
Yeah.
Like, I don't hold on, wait a second, but like I don't really like the idea of like kind of like legislating guys' body types. Like, people did that with KD a lot, and I don't really feel like
he's
that
still
was
fucking skinny.
But that's the thing, though. I get that. I get what you're saying. But KD had a strong base. Like, KD, he can be the low man on the rotation. Like we were talking about earlier with the, help the helper or whatever. KD is good for that position. I just think Herro, for every part of defense, needs to be a little bit stronger. Like, I think anybody could just kind of run through him. Like, on a switch, they always have to come help him.
I'm with G. Like, I get what you're saying, but KD is a bad example just because he's 7 feet.
Way
shoot
bigger.
Over anybody.
Way taller.
Right.
For sure.
So like KD, everybody was talking about KD needs more muscle. Like, we were all stupid saying that because he's 7 foot and can shoot like the best shooter in the world. So
and he's great
I
intuition.
just want Herro to not be picked on, to a relentless degree like he was last season. And again, I'm not, we're gonna give him time for that. That's not something that happens overnight. But I think that's one way where you can kind of, so his defensive impact isn't so negative all the time. He needs to be a little bit stronger.
He's doing a really good job of like hard showing on the pick and roll to let his man recover, and I think he's never gonna be a guy that you can just switch and be comfortable with. But if he's really good at that hard show, and if the guy behind him's Bam or somebody really good, I think you can survive.
And look, he played good defense on, I want to say it was Middleton in that Bucks game, and in some of those Bucks games, I was looking at like, okay, he can do the one-on-one stuff, okay, but when it's like a jump shooting type all-star like Chris Middleton, who doesn't really want to get in the paint, is not going to back you down on a mismatch like that. So I like Tyler as a positional defender. I like his IQ, just like Duncan Robinson. I just think, to me, it's going to get tough in the playoffs. But again, I'm not worried about it. I think you keep him in that starting rotation. I'm good with what's going on with the guard rotation right now. I think, by the way, if you're going to talk about trades, if they did something like, George Hill and Trevor Ariza, I think that's the type of thing you could do as far as adding a point guard. I didn't think the whole conversation of adding a point guard to the rotation without making a trade was really viable. I just think there's too many guys already.
What's up with the George Hill love? Like, and
he's good.
Just a nice rotation player you can add. People were clamoring for a point guard, I guess. And OKC and the Heat having history, and people were speculating that they could just unprotect those picks and get George Hill, and maybe you send them Kendrick Nunn. I'm like, I'm good with that.
Okay.
I'm good with that only because I feel like Kendrick Nunn's value's in the toilet right now, and he's going to be a free agent next season anyway. And I don't really see what kind of contract they're going to offer. And like, he has no value for that reason. Because if a lot of people are like saying like, oh, well, he's a young player, but his contract's up next season, right? So it's like, well, what the fuck do I get? I get half a season of Kendrick Nunn, being bad at pull-ups. Like, what, you know what I mean? Moose is in on Ariza. I'm kind of mid on Ariza. Like, I think I've seen people like say like he's the answer for power forward. I'm not really sure about that.
Better than Harkless.
Like he's like skinny like Harkless. Kind of before we hop off the Tyler thing, I do want to mention two things. I think the two things to monitor this season are going to be how he is performing as a pick and roll ball handler, which we just already mentioned. The other thing is, how is he shooting on pull-ups? Because
yes, I was going to ask you, how'd you feel about that Bucks game when he was hitting all those pull-ups?
Yeah, I mean, he's from three, he's shooting about 35%, which I think for as good a shooter as he is, you want that number up. But I think he's shooting like 33% for the season or something. It's not like incredibly high as a 3-point shooter. I mean, he started off a little slow, but I have no doubt that's going to go up. He's a good shooter. I don't need the numbers are going to bear out.
He could be shooting more, I think.
Oh yeah, he's
I think the last couple of games with Jimmy back, he's kind of. He brought it down some, whereas before he was really happy with the pull-up. And I want him taking some of those pull-ups because a lot of these guys are dropping pretty far back, and I know he can hit that shot. I know he has that shot in his bag. And I'm with you. I want to see him hit that pull-up in a confident, efficient way just because that's going to really scare defenses to playing up on him even more. And obviously he's a shooter already, but I just think it's like, okay, if they think that he's more likely to pull up than try to, drive or go for the lob, like if he's got all these options in the bag, it's just going to make him a better player.
He needs to create he's not like a jump out of the page athlete, so he needs to create space with his kind of all the different moves that he has to keep a defender guessing, and his shooting. And he's shooting 44% on pull-up twos and 35 on pull-up threes, which honestly, that number on pull-up twos is great. I'm loving that. To me, that's a sign of you are not afraid to attack the defense if they're gonna park in the paint, because he's he's not gonna finish over the trees. So if they're doing that, it's kind of like Bam, right? So Bam has like that one dribble pull up, which he's been fucking. It's like my favorite thing in the world. Like that, I want him to go to the rim. We'll talk about that in a second. But kind of Tyler being willing. I think the next thing for him is a floater. And that will really round out the game to a way that I think
put in more emphasis into like the crafty finishes, the Kyrie like finishes over the summer, because he came back with some tough
that's
ones.
Good, though.
Yeah, no, for sure, it's good, and I agree with you there. Like the floater is just such a great way for guards who can't really finish over guys to get going there if they're gonna play up on him, which he's gonna eventually get that treatment.
Shout out to Fez Butter in the chat. Heat Twitter OG. Fez says, I want the Heat to trade for Kyle Lowry so Pat can cut him and I can watch G cry live on Twitch. Listen, I if they get Kyle Lowry, I will cry live on Twitch for a couple reasons, because I want him to retire a Raptor, and also I'll be so happy because he's with the Heat.
So corny.
Solana, let's kind of address that a little bit, because I think, well, actually, Brian, I'm going to go to you because I know how much you fucking love trades. Brian, trade season is Brian's time to shine. Trade season is where Brian thrives.
Yes. What do you want?
I don't really see a deal with Kyle. Like, and I know that the Raptors are struggling and people have really.
You don't. I do.
Okay, but that's what I'm asking. So it's like, what do the Heat have that they can offer the Raptors that is any kind of enticing?
I mean, the Raptors are going to lose him no matter what, because I highly doubt he'll resign there.
Why? Why do you doubt that he'll resign?
Because you guys are the worst team in the league this year. You guys are tanking, apparently.
He wants to contend.
What could the Heat send that is enticing to Toronto? Because I've looked for a way to make the deal happen, and I'm like, well, there's Olynyk, and then you gotta make, so it's Olynyk, Andre.
Well, he's making $30 million this year, so they'll have to trade either Olynyk or Andre. I
Both,
think in order to make the numbers work, they have to send out 22 salaries to throw in. If we wait until February 6th, we can trade in Myers Leonard's $9 million to that deal if we had to. Which I would definitely do.
Why would the
Raptors do that?
And then we could trade in a first-round pick. That's all you need to trade is a first-round pick.
If you're the Raptors, you got to get Kelly back, at least, the Canadian.
You don't think the Raptors can get more for Lowry than
Not for half year of Kyle Lowry when he's a rental.
A bad first-round pick?
He's a rental. First-round pick is probably
the rental thing is a good
best
point.
they'll be able to get.
But the Clippers just gave fucking Marcus Morris a first-round pick. They traded a first-round pick for Marcus Morris.
They signed them for $16 million a year.
Do you realize how old Kyle Lowry is?
He's 35.
Okay.
But
him and Dragic are both the same age.
There's no guarantee that he'll be re-signing like Marcus Morris did with the Clippers.
I mean, like, if you trade for him, I think it's to resign also. Like, I think that if you trade for him,
it would
be.
But if you're another team, you're like kind of like Drew Holiday. You're just like, okay, I'm gonna trade him, and then I'm gonna sign him to a 2 or 3 year.
I think this would be a 1-year run. I think if Miami made a deal like that, it would be for a 1-year run.
They wouldn't give up assets and then not resign him.
If he's crazy good, and then maybe they'll consider giving him like another 1 or 2 year deal, like they're doing with Goran right now.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like another team probably would, like another good team like Philly can probably trade for him and then want to sign him to a 2-3 year because he'll still be good.
It's not like they have the leverage because he's playing on an expiring contract no matter what. It's whether or not they want to give him up for nothing or they're going to keep him on the roster. I don't know how many other teams that he would really want to play for. I mean, the Clippers could make sense, but they don't really have any assets either right now.
Philly
I don't think Philly needs a point guard anymore.
Yes, they do.
No, they need it. They definitely could use Kyle Lowry. I feel like
Let me tell you something.
I'm having a deja vu right now. Have we done this before?
I think what's going to happen is you're trading expirants, and if we had to trade in
but Kyle's
some
an
kind
expiring.
of young guy, then maybe you trade in like KZ Okpala or. I mean, I don't know if they
listen.
would want
I want him here, Brian. I really want him here because he would change the calculus on their ceiling like tremendously. You can do so many like interesting 3-guard lineups, and they're just Spo. All of a sudden, Pandora's box opens for Eric Spoelstra, and this team becomes really dangerous for a point guard that can defend and shoot and handle and do a bunch of stuff. I just don't see a deal where now maybe I'm wrong, and maybe the value for Kyle's value is a bad first-round pick. I don't know, but if you're the Raptors, you might just rather have the $30 million and expiring.
I mean, what did it take to get Goran Dragic at like 30 years old, 29 years old?
2 picks,
okay, so
2 picks,
and a bunch of trash.
Okay, so let's go over
how bad
it.
is one pick and a bunch of trash?
The 2 contracts, the pick, and then let's say at least one more young guy. Let's say it's KZ. Does that get you there, G? If you're talking about replenishing with 2, the pick and KZ, and then 2 guys who help you keep you competitive, I guess.
I think that's where the deal starts. I think the deal's gonna start with a pick plus young guy. Like,
That
would
is
you do
four
it if
things
it's
to give up for a rental?
I have a question.
34-year-old. I do
What
get why
if
the
it's-
Raptors wouldn't do it though. I think
what if it's
he means so much
Precious?
to them.
Precious, a pick, and expirings?
I'd do it.
Alex?
I would do
man.
it.
I kind of
Struggling.
think that's what a deal. I think that's what a deal would look like. I think
Yeah,
that's
that's
something
pretty much
that
what
Toronto's.
we just talked about, except with Precious instead of KZ. I think it's tough, man. I really don't want to trade Precious, but
Yeah, Chat's
if you
saying
just
that it's
talk-
not worth it. Chat and Moose thinks it doesn't. Well, take a young guy. I mean, I don't really know what you think. Yo, shout out to Brian M.
Lowry would make
for
them a lot better though. I think Lowry is an awesome fit for this team.
Especially
a 4
this
monther.
year. Especially
4
this
month.
year.
Damn,
Lowry.
a lot of
wants
people
up.
do not like this trade, saying Precious. I
Yeah,
like
people-
Precious, but
No,
I don't know. I feel like we're also hyping him up a little bit more than we should.
Maybe,
He's been a top
but
5. Nikias said he's a top 5 rookie. So if Nikias says that, it's got.
Nikias also hated
Scripture.
the pick at the time, so what does he know?
the guys' takes are scripture. I just really don't like the idea of going back to, like, you know, when Bam comes off the floor, they're all of a sudden really, really soft down low. Like I don't miss that at all.
Chat's really hating this. I kind of have to look. If you do make a trade for Lowry, it's because you're making a run for a title this year, and that's the whole reason you make a deal for Lowry. You're making it so you can go for a title. I know you guys love Precious.
He fits the
but at
bill what
same
everybody
time,
wants.
We're playing on Jimmy's timeline.
By the way, we haven't even
Motherfucker in
mentioned
the
that
chat
part
rather
yet.
have Derrick Rose? Why?
No, stop
Fuck outta
it.
here.
Stop it.
No, thank
Stop.
If they didn't have Goron, maybe like he's just the worst Goron. No, but the thing with Lowry
you know what?
is.
If they trade KZ to Toronto, that'd probably be the best team to trade him to because that's the actually team that he actually played great against.
Yeah,
They know what he
he
can
lit
do.
him up.
Yeah, that
like,
makes
this guy's
perfect
better than
sense.
Siakam.
To send KZ to them.
A guy.
And we mentioned that Lowry is like really, really, really good friends with Jimmy Butler, and Jimmy really wants him because I think that's important.
Listen, the other guy, Alex, I want, and I texted you about him, like a guy, and you texted back an option that I really like. So I texted you with Otto Porter Jr., and then you hit me back with Harry B.
That's what we're talking about, right?
Two guys I hate.
Why? Listen, I like Otto Porter. You know, he can defend up a little bit.
Number one for me. I would trade for
Oh yeah,
PJ
but
Tucker
I don't.
for Otto Porter.
I don't. I think Miami will get outbid for PJ Tucker. Miami just doesn't have a lot that they can really offer. This is why I'm kind of like, for like a guy like that, like a medium-sized contract on an expiring.
Trade KZ and an expiring for PJ?
Yes.
Oh, easy for sure. But I don't know. That's not going to get it done. I mean, I think we on Miami Heat beat love.
The market.
Okpala. I don't know, man. I just know that blue checkmark Twitter doesn't really think much of KZ Okpala.
It would take the pick. Either guy's gonna take just one first-round pick, in my opinion.
See,
Nikias
takes are scripture, not blue checkmark Twitter. All right.
That's what listen, I know. Weird Alf is saying Oladipo.
I think he's
And
probably
Jimmy wants
not gonna
Lowry
get
more than
traded.
Oladipo.
I don't think he's getting traded.
Yeah, I think that, you guys and Ethan and Leif over there in 5 Regions have really kind of hammered that. I don't think there's a lot of interest from the organization.
No, I don't think it's like that though. I don't think it's black and white. Like I don't think they're out on.
It's
Oladipo.
not a preference. It's not a preference.
There's other guys that they will be in on over him. That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean,
I definitely don't think they're out on him in general. Like if they pursue him in free agency, would that be surprising? If other things fall apart,
maybe a little bit.
I think he'd be worth looking.
I think they're gonna go higher. I think they want more. I think they're gonna go a little.
I mean, he
Kylo
looks
Ren.
good. He looks
Kylo
pretty
Ren
good.
gif. More. I do want to pivot to a little bit of BAM talk. We always have to get in trade talk.
We've done trades for a while.
We always do trade. And I could not thank Brian M for the 4-month sub. I know we were in the middle of it. Thank you for you, my friend, for the 4-month sub. We really appreciate that.
We're
here.
one sub away from you doing your Eric and Tony impression.
No, that's 1 sub. That's 1 sub.
No, that's 4. That's 4.
If we get 2 more subs, I'll do my limited fake Aaron and Tony.
I mean, we had one earlier. I don't think you.
Okay, last trade thing, because I do want to highlight the people that gave bits. Ken Boner said, "I'm ready to go all in for Al Horford. I don't want to play Al Horford with another big ever again. I saw how that worked in Philly. I don't want to do that. I'm out on Al.
Oh, come
Looked
on.
really bad.
Well, I agree with
Milano.
you, but give Bam some credit. He's not Embiid.
No, he's not Embiid. He's better, but it's just more of a thing.
Al
of
Horford would just be like exactly what you want from Myers, except on steroids. I mean, I wouldn't do that trade either. But
Do you fuck with Mangu, Solana? I don't like Mangu.
do not
I'm with
Dominicans
you.
eat mango?
I'm with you.
I don't like Mangu.
I feel like only Dominicans eat mango. It's one of those things.
I grew up with Dominicans. My best friend growing up was Dominican. My neighbors were Dominican. Now, like, one of my brothers, like, one of my best
I have Dominican friends too, but I've just never tried it. How is it?
It's, like, not good.
Is it really? Because it's so hyped on Dominican Twitter. It's, like, super hyped on Dominican Twitter.
Listen, everybody hypes their own shit. Every country hypes their own. Like,
we do that?
Cubans hype ropa vieja. I'm not a ropa vieja person.
I'm not a ropa vieja guy either. I'm not gonna lie.
I love Cuban food.
I also don't eat yuca.
Wow, no, that's just what the.
And I don't drink Cuban coffee.
Oh no, that's just. I have a hot take on Cuban coffee. It's like it's a little overrated.
No,
it's a little overrated.
Stop, but it's not. That's like somebody saying
function, right?
The Beatles are overrated. You know, like you're just saying it's overrated because everybody else likes it.
Thank you, Intimidator001 for the tier 1 sub. Appreciate you.
How do you not eat yuca? I don't get that.
We're bearing the lead here. What's wrong with yuca?
Yuca bites? Like you never had yuca bites?
Whoa. Fried is different. Fried yuca is different.
Oh, no.
I was just talking
about yuca. Who the fuck's boiling yuca? I mean,
man, I'm talking about, have you ever been to a Cuban party before where they just have the yuca there laid out next to the pork and the salad? That's what I'm talking about.
That's dry. No, not that dry shit. No, yeah.
You know, they put it on top of other things. It's like part of the dish. I don't. I completely ignore that.
Yeah.
Now, give me some fried yuca bites from Pro Tropical. I'll eat shit out of that.
Yuca bites. Yuca bites are
what
fine.
sauce? What sauce?
Oh, okay.
The cilantro or the curry.
Cilantro.
Wow. I go pineapple.
Well, not curry
rum
for the bites.
Cilantro. Pineapple rum for the bites are good, but I curry.
I tried making the cilantro garlic sauce myself. It's nice.
What are the overrated dishes from each of you guys' respective home countries? From your parents.
I think bandeja paisa is a little overrated. As a Colombian, I think bandeja paisa is just.
I don't even know what that is. So I guess my mom's.
It's like a Colombian breakfast with the.
I don't get.
I mean, it's good.
It's not a breakfast.
Maybe arepas.
Bandeja paisa is not. No, arepas are not overrated.
No, it's not a breakfast thing. It's a.
But it depends what kind of arepa you have.
Now you're googling it. Bandeja paisa is literally just a piece of steak, rice, beans, maduros, like it, and it comes with what's it called, like the fried pork?
The chicharron. Like that can't just
right?
that cannot be our like countries like that's like when people think of Colombian food, like that's what they fucking think of.
No, you know what I think of? I think of anything from Los Verdes. I just think of like the pink sauce, you know, the quesadillas.
I hate Los Verdes so much, man.
Why?
I had that take a couple months ago on Twitter where like we all have to come together as a community and agree that Los Verdes isn't actually good unless you're hammered. No. And if something is only good,
who's eating that sober?
But if something's only good because you're fucked up, then it's not actually good.
It's greasy.
It's just open at 3 a.m. and it's greasy. Like, bro, who the fuck is putting all that sauce on quesadillas with chips on top? Like, just give me a fucking normal quesadilla.
No, but like,
you're wrong on that. That's their specialty.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Miss me with that. That pink
that's
sauce.
an affront.
That pink sauce that they layer on the fucking quesadilla.
You don't like the pink sauce?
Bro, it's mids at best. It's mids at best.
Oh my god.
At best, and they fucking layer it. They layer it with those crushed up stale ass fucking chips that you know it's a fucking old sweaty guy back there crushing up with his gross fucking hands.
Why did you make that? Fez is right. He says
coming from the chicken kitchen guy. Seriously?
Yes, that's right. This guy who
Fez Butter's calling
kitchen.
you an arrepentido. He's calling us all arrepentidos.
He doesn't want nothing on top of it. He just loves it plain.
Okay, we're moving on from food takes because your food takes.
I'm sorry. That one threw me off.
No, we have to read some of the stuff that's in the chat. So Jack says that Kendall people do not season their food.
That's just disrespect. There's 3 Kendall people in here.
Frankie responded back saying, "Hold him accountable, Jack, unlike Alex does his SPO."
Alex is a resident accountable. Alex, listen, you're the only person in this market who holds Coach accountable.
What are you talking about, man?
You're the only one. Judging from those, listen. Have you listened to the Deuces lately?
Have you asked him about the turnovers yet? Because you asked him about the 3-point shooting last year.
Listen, I haven't been able to actually been on the media calls for SPO most of the time because we record with 5 on the floor directly when after the game ends, and so that's
just like Hangover time here on Twitch.tv/MIAHP. Check that out live.
That was good. That was a vet move. I'll give you that.
Nice.
Shout out to Keiko for the prime sub. Appreciate you very much.
That's 5. You have to do it.
That's not 5. That's 3.
You said 2.
Brian M gave 1.
You said 2.
No, I did. This is 3. We need 2 more. We need 2 more.
No, you already hit the limit.
And nobody wants to hear this, man. I've heard this impersonation. It's pretty bad.
It's not even good.
I don't care. You promised.
TTG7 asked, gave us some bits. What about the trade? McCollum for Herro, none. Leonard and a pick, or Duncan, none. Leonard and a pick. I just don't see Portland really doing that, and
they don't want to trade McCollum for Harden. I don't know why they would do it for Tyler Herro and younger guys.
And whatever they do, Alex's face is completely sums that
up.
Like,
come on, what are we doing? Like, I'm telling you, that's just making a trade to make a trade because Twitter is pissed off that they're 3-3. Like, McCollum, really?
Was it Alf who said that they just see a guy and they're like, yeah, I want him? I think he said that last week.
I think it was Sedano.
I'm all in on the Photoshops. Right. I'm all in on the Photoshops. Like, Photoshop me everybody. Photoshop me fucking Mike Muscala in Heat jersey. That's cool. But come on, man. Like,
you need at least 2 All-NBA teams to make a Photoshop.
Mike Muscala, please don't ever do that.
two All-NBA teams for you to get in the photo before Jake Pablo Media or Haters vs. Heat's Photoshop is you.
Only time I want to see.
What are we doing with McCollum, man? Come on.
Only time I want to see Mike Muscala in the Heat picture is on a poster of him getting dunked on by Bam.
Yes, fucking destroyed him.
Nice. That was beautiful.
Okay, Yami Curtis says Blake Griffin to the Heat. Okay, we're moving off trade talks. Blake Griffin is a shell of himself. I love Blake, but no. Kind of moving on to Bam a little bit, Alex. I know you and I have talked about this. We've texted about this. As much as we like him hitting that little jumper, we need him to go to the rim more because he is a freak of nature. And the jumper's nice to have in the bag, late possession in the shot clock in a playoff game. Bro, against the fucking, remnants of the Dallas Mavericks front court, you got to take that in, man. Like, you got to take in. They're playing the Celtics on Wednesday against that soft-ass front line. I want to see you facing up and going to the rim, and I know you agree with me.
Yeah, so to me, I think it's two sides of the same coin. So, I tweeted something out similar last weekend, and everybody got on me like, whoa, one doesn't come without the other. And I think that's kind of an obvious point. Like, but it is true, though, because Bam taking more of these shots and being more willing to take it and not looking so hesitant like he has last year, I think definitely changes how you guard him a little bit because the shot is real. I'm not saying it's his best weapon, but him having that and taking it more often is going to make it easier for him to get to those drives. But that's essentially what I tweeted, that from here on out, like knowing that, he's taking these shots, let's say, I don't know, 3 times a game, 4 times a game, it varies. But as far as what I would like him to increase from here on out, knowing that we're already here with the jump shots, it's definitely the drives. Like, I think I'm good with where he's at right now with the jumpers. I don't need him taking a bunch more. I definitely would like to see him drive more often. Like, I just think it would be, that's really where his value lies the most. I agree with everything you said about him with the free throws. Like, I think we saw that in the playoffs versus the Celtics. He really looks like a different player when he's attacking the basket like that. And I would like to see him go to that option more often. He needs to stop, by the way, like a lot of times when he runs the set, and I know he's always looking to play make first. I'm okay with it, whatever. I would like him to be more aggressive, just like the rest of Heat Twitter. What he needs to stop doing is, like, when he's running a set or a handoff, he'll pick up the dribble, and then that completely takes away the other options. I hate when he does that. Like,
I
keep the dribble alive. And I know he's not doing it on purpose. It happens, it's a game. But that's something that it immediately takes away his other 2 options. He can't really shoot or drive anymore once he picks up his dribble at the 3-point line.
The thing, like, that shit bothers me. The other thing that bothers me is when
I love what I've seen from him though.
No, he's been absolutely incredible. Like, besides when he'll like, I'm gonna pull up Christian tweeted a couple days ago that he's turning the ball over on 28% of his possessions. I think that's gone down. I'm about to pull it up. But the other thing I don't like is, like, when I feel like sometimes he kind of predetermines what he's going to do on a possession. That once kind of Duncan comes off the handoff and, like, let's say a guy kind of goes really hard over the screen and they take that away, and then Bam's like kind of pivots, and he are in like that one motion, he already knows what he's going to do. And it's like, it's not really a reading the defense kind of thing. It's like, okay, I have decided based off this option, I'm gonna do this, and
I think that's what separates him as a big man passer between him and Jokic. And I'm not trying, he's not gonna be Jokic. Like, Jokic just might be the best passer outside of LeBron in the league right now. He's an actual point guard at center, whereas Bam has kind of been put into that role. Bam was a good playmaker, now put into this role, and so I think it's something that's gonna get ironed out over time. But it's definitely, gotta get those turnovers down, man.
Like, and I think part of that was kind of the Jimmy stuff, right? He's
for sure
not been. Yeah, I mean, he's his. It's just,
this team was constructed for the Jimmy, Bam, and Duncan, and for what they do, and everybody playing around them, not Tyler and Bam.
I think this is going to turn into a more of a north-south team as kind of the season goes. I think that kind of if Tyler's going to be this level of pick and roll player, I think that they're going to be, and if they're going to have to downsize a lot of times because, they can't really play another guy at power forward that they might want, and they're going to play maybe 3 guards plus Andre and Bam, right? I think that that's going to really open the door for a lot more pick and rolls, a lot more jump shooting, a lot faster of a pace. And that's kind of, I think, the big difference between this year's team and last year's team. And I would kind of put a little, maybe put a bookmark on the NBA stats handoff possessions and kind of see how that ranges as the season goes on compared to last season, because they just have a lot of firepower to go north-south. And with Bam kind of taking a leap as a scorer, like, Alex, do you think it's unreasonable for him to get to 20 points per game this season?
Which Alex are you asking?
You.
Okay. No, I don't think it's unreasonable. I said earlier, a few months ago on 5 on the Floor, I wouldn't be surprised if Jimmy, Bam, and Tyler were all kind of hovering around between 17 and 19 points a game around there. I think Bam could get to 20. If I had to bet, I would say he finishes under that, though, just because he, of his his predilection to pass to other guys first.
Which is fine, by the way. Like,
his field goal attempts are about the same.
He doesn't have to be at 20 as long as we're seeing the
growth in the other aspects.
Shots.
Right.
If Bam took 2 or 3 more shots a game, he'd be averaging 24 a game.
Well, he's shooting he's taking about the same field goals that he took last year. He's getting to the line about the same time. It's, again, small sample size. Shooting a lot better, by the way. Shooting 83% from the line, which is more in line with what he's done, because he was always an above 70% shooter, and last season he shot a not nice 69% from the line.
Well, he was
nice
really
stroke.
good in the playoffs.
Can I ask you something, G? Have you looked at the pace numbers? Because I haven't yet. I watched them. I feel like they're playing at a somewhat faster pace than they were last year.
Middle of the pack, and the reason why I checked is because they rank near the top of turnovers, and I was wondering if that was a pace thing as well. I knew that they turned the ball over faster. A lot. They're last time I checked after the Mavs game, they were middle of the pack, so I don't know how the
weren't they bottom 10 last year for the whole season?
Both teams tend to not play fast, and even for all the pace and space shit.
But that's what I'm saying.
They played.
That's what I'm saying. That kind of stuck out to me because I'm used to them kind of slowing the pace down. But maybe some of that was just when Jimmy's not playing, because he does a really good job at slowing the pace down. Like that's the way that he plays a lot of times, even if they are playing an motion offense. But I don't know. These past couple of games have stood out to me. Like, it feels like they're playing at a faster pace than usual, and maybe that's something that's going to end up, going down. Because I remember that happened last year at the beginning too. They were playing in the first 10 games or something. I remember I checked, and they were at a top 13 pace or something like that.
I wouldn't say that they're playing fast. I think they're playing frantic. Solana, I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of times,
that's probably a better way to describe it.
Bam gets that outlet pass, right? And he's looking to push, but I think a lot of times they don't have options. I think the other day Duncan threw a hit ahead pass to I forgot who and
so
threw
bad.
it.
Did you see Spo's reaction to that?
Oh, it was so funny. It was our reaction.
So pissed.
I love Duncan, so I don't want to get mad at Dunk. I get what they're trying to do, but they're just trying to be something that they're not, which I think contributes to the turnovers.
Yeah, but I'm cool with them experimenting. I'm cool with I know a lot of those Bam turnovers were ugly as fuck, but I'm kind of cool with him just trying out new things, him trying to be more aggressive, him trying to handle the ball more, trying to fucking be Magic Johnson at times. Whatever, man, dude. It's fine. That's why the overreaction to Herro at the beginning of the season, all that shit is fine, man. It'll work itself out.
Perspective is stupid, Alex. We gotta react to stuff. We gotta trade people. We gotta demand that Tyler Herro gets benched. That's not how sports coverage works.
All right, then fucking
nuance. Do you think nuance makes money? Do you think nuance gets an audience? No, nobody wants nuance. Nobody wants nuance. Everybody wants hot takes. Everybody wants to trade people. Everybody wants a Mo Harkless hit piece. That's what gets clicks, Alex. You should know this.
Yeah,
you work for a media empire. You work for Intercom.
You just talked about the pace numbers, or get the fuck out of here with that.
Nuance.
It's a totally different. How are you even analyzing that when what Toledo said? Your number one ball handlers missed most of the games. Get the fuck out of here. Then don't bring up the numbers.
Which is why, and I wrote that in my piece. It's you have a 5-game sample where Jimmy's played 2.3 games. I was like, none of this means anything. This is so.
like people were mad at me for not being more worried, and I'm like, if this keeps going for a couple more weeks, sure, but man, like we've seen 3 games of Jimmy. Like, I don't know what to say. They just got to the finals. Maybe if they would have lost in the second round, we would be talking about a different type of team, different type of expectations. But they got to the finals, and they pretty much brought back the same roster. Like, you're looking at the rotation now, the way it is now, they pretty much only swapped out 2 guys. Like, is it basically just Jay Crowder for Avery Bradley? Like they added a couple new guys as well, obviously, but I just think
they're not.
You got to give it a little bit more time.
They're gonna have a really interesting playoffs if they don't make a trade, and they're gonna also have a really interesting trade deadline because of kind of everything that we've talked about today. I think this is kind of like, okay, we're at a point where I think they've stabilized a bit, right? They look pretty okay. They look pretty good. They have some issues, right? So we kind of talked about, the kind of the point guard situation where you can kind of see, but at the end of the day, shout out to you, Alex, that, Goran is going to be the starter in the playoffs. And then I guess the question then becomes, are you going Goran, Tyler, Dunk, Jimmy, Bam? Are you going really small, or are you benching Duncan or Tyler, right? Like, I think those are the questions that you start asking if they go as is into the playoffs. But I think their power forward answer is still a question mark, for games that matter. I think their guards are really solid. I think what you're going to get from Jimmy. Avery Bradley's been like one of the league's best spot-up shooters through 6 games. It's crazy.
He's going to be one of their 8 or 9 guys for sure.
They got to make a trade right now.
There we go.
Riley has to make a fucking trade tonight. I'm demanding a trade. Every game is a must-win game from here on out. Every single game.
Thank you. Finally, that's what I'm saying.
I like that mentality, man. That's good.
Actually, last night was called a must-win game by the Sun Sentinel. Just for the record, it was. That's.
I mean, if they lost that game, we're listen. You can't lose the fucking lottery team.
We'd be having a different pod right now.
Oh, we'd be having a totally different pod.
We'd be having the pods that the Toronto Raptors fans were having.
Oh man,
shout out to Dishes and Dimes.
It's bleak over there at Dishes and Dimes.
Bunch of frauds.
Bleak.
The Raptors, not Dishes and Dimes.
So chat's really angry at us because we haven't answered questions, primarily Weird Alf's questions.
Yeah,
so
Jack, Weird Alf. Okay, you want to read some of them, Brian?
I mean, they're basically the same question over and over. So Jack's wondering why you hate Precious Achiuwa, Alex Toledo.
Yeah,
you hate Precious?
He's trying to create this narrative, man. It's one of his weird bits that I still don't understand.
Did you know Nikias does not like Steph Curry?
Why?
Is that real, or is that another Twitter bit that I don't understand?
That's a Twitter bit that.
But why?
Like his game, or like personally, they have beef.
Yes.
Is it because he didn't put him in first team All NBA?
I don't know. I don't know where this bit started, but I just see people tweeting Nikias, why are you hating Steph? Or when Steph balls out, they're adding like, Boogie Banskins or all those Laker people and Nikias. It's just like, what did poor Nikias do?
Bankskin.
Yo,
that's how you pronounce Banksy.
Banksy, whatever. Those I hate them. They're so fucking annoying.
Bankskin.
Yo, all they do is like they fucking love LeBron. All they do is fucking like stan LeBron. And when LeBron was here,
you're gonna go after Lakers Twitter again. You didn't learn your lesson the first time.
It's just annoying. I know. I learned my lesson.
Wasn't that? I think that might have been the 4 of us. Or I called one of them a white supremacist, and it didn't go well.
Yeah, then I got hit for that. Which, by the way, Tim NBA is like one of the nicest guys ever. He talked to me. I apologized. He somehow apologized to me. He gives money to black causes and businesses from his website fund. He's like the nicest person. We fucked up.
Oops. Yeah, you're a piece of shit.
I'm the worst.
Next question, Alex. Do you like my background?
Which Alex?
You, motherfucker!
You.
There's 2 Alexes on
the show, baby.
Man.
This is like a family reunion. Like, you haven't been here since Thanksgiving, and like we just want to show you our new shit.
Here, I'll step away so you can see it better.
You like that? Man. Yeah. That's going on a T-shirt soon. You can get that at the Miami Heat Beat store. We got merch, baby. Okay. Weird Alf is asking Tyler Herro or Ryan Fitzpatrick.
That's a tough one. Hasbrook jersey.
Okay, hold on. Show the jersey for sure. Whoever stayed. Bonus content. Patrick Beverly and Hasbrook jersey. Look at that shit right there, chat.
We didn't even answer their questions. We only answered Jack's questions.
Jack, I answered all the questions. You know how hard it is to answer chat and host a show? I think I did a good job.
I know it's hard because I haven't even looked at the chat once this whole time, but
like that's why my face.
Questions.
No, they're all Jacks. I've gotten to all of them. I've read them. All those trade things. One guy said I look like Ronnie from the Jersey Shore. Fez just made fun of us, which was really funny.
Someone says I need to put more bass in my voice. I don't know what that means.
Yeah. Which question, Reclops? Okay, we'll answer your question.
Do that?
Reclops 305. What did you ask that I didn't? We're gonna give you. This is bonus. KD, none and KO to Barcelona for Mirotic. I don't want a dude that left the NBA for Europe. I'm sorry, I don't. I want someone with guts.
Wow.
What else? Anything else? This is bonus.
NBA supremacist over here.
This is NBA nationalists.
Oh, man.
And okay, this is stream only content. Any other questions that you guys want to trickle in before we leave? You wanted Gallo, no guts. I did want Gallo. He's hurt now. TTG7 says, I can't believe Alejandro called McCollum trash.
I didn't call him trash. I did. Wait, hold on. I would like to respond to that. I didn't call him trash. I'm just saying we're gonna trade for McCollum. Like that's how you know we're just getting desperate. We just want to trade for anybody. McCollum's good. McCollum's probably an all-star. I
probably.
Don't like that fit, though. I don't like that fit. I don't like that. I don't like the
probably
fit.
an all-star.
Yeah, he's probably an all-star.
He's just shorter Bradley Beal, but not as good.
Bradley Beal's awesome. That guy's fucking good. How many people call you Alejandro?
Most people.
Really?
Yeah. I don't like Alex.
You don't?
Nah.
Is it gentrified?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that's what it actually is. I'm no joke. I think that's what it actually is.
I think. Wow, I just you're just nodding because now they gentrified.
Says the guy who's been calling me Toledo until like recently.
Yeah, I realized that. Listen,
but you know what?
I watched you.
You know, it's fine, man. Ethan does it too. I started it. I should have said Toledo from the start.
No, I that's my bad.
I disgraced my family.
I
Ethan was married to a Colombian. He should know better. I should know better too.
Solana on the air, man. I went full fucking Hispano.
Can Hawk say that?
Yeah. No, his Alejandro Solana is great. Really, it's one of his strong points.
No. How quick did that get old?
Yeah, pretty old. Yeah.
Hawk has my favorite radio bit of all time, which was Mark Hackman. I think Esta Noche Somos Mantequilla is the best local radio has ever been.
Yeah, that is without a doubt the greatest, the greatest for sure.
I mean, like nobody will ever top that level of performance. Like it was performance to the highest, and he kept going.
Yeah.
Wow, you put him over Stugatz?
I think like my sister asked me because Dan ended the other day and she's like, what's your favorite Le Batard like bit or moment? And I think the most I've ever laughed was when Stugatz did Flimbrandt and he was on Ocean Drive trying to sell those fucking paintings. Bro, I was dying at that shit.
When I try to think of one that was funny. It was funny visually too, because I remember I was watching that day on TV, but to me, the Stugatz thing, man, is the restaurant calls.
Oh
man, those are good.
Those were great.
It just made me cringe so hard. Like it's amazing, like the type of reaction it draws out for me.
That like, it feels bad. It feels bad.
Slimy.
I don't like it. It feels gross.
Apparently, sorry.
No, it's also performance art.
Yeah. Apparently today on because Greeny's show started today, the Le Batard regular hour, and they had callers calling in saying, hey, I want to talk about like the Eagles or whatever the fuck the game that they had, and then they would call in saying that we're going to talk about that, and as soon as they brought them online, they were asking, yo, where's Dan and Stu?
Yeah, I heard it.
That was listeners doing that on purpose?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Le Batard show fans calling in to troll him.
Yeah. That sucks for Greeny though.
I know Le Batard fans aren't calling in to ask about the Eagles game. That's definitely a troll.
Greeny's cool. I know everybody here hates Greeny, and I get it, but dude, Greeny's so cool, man. Like, he's just a fucking cool guy.
Do you have his number?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was funny. It's like, we're still live, by the way. Twitch is seeing all of this.
I know, dude. Fuck.
Yeah. Okay. So before somebody said some shit.
Is Kendrick Perkins still cool with you guys?
Yeah.
Can we get him on? Can we get him on a Hangover time? You think?
No shot.
What do you think on your contact list that we haven't had on Heapy? We think we can get on Hangover time.
Brian always angling.
Brian always. I'll never forget at Media Day. The Heat are like, okay, you guys, you can talk to I think one player or something, right? And we're kind of it's me at the table, it's you, it's Whittingham, and it's Ethan. And then Ethan and Whitty are kind of doing, they're talking to Goran, they're talking to UD, and I forgot who was the first. I think we talked to Rodney Magruder first. Mm-hmm. And then Brian just fucking brings over Josh Richardson. And I was like, Brian, they told us we can only talk to one guy. Brian's like, they're not telling me anything. And Brian
like, okay. Went out and did the work himself. He just hustled and went over to their media relations people and was like, can we get him?
That was genuinely amazing.
I think in order, we ended with Josh. Josh was our last get. We didn't even think we were going to get him. We actually tried to get Justice. We tried to get Justice the most, but he wouldn't want to do any interviews.
We started with Rodney.
We started with Rodney, then we got Tyler Johnson. Yeah, that was amazing because in and of itself, like that was the guy that we wanted the most. I think he was number one on our list.
He'd asked us for 3 names and we'd get one.
And then who else did we ask for? I think we asked for Bam, and we got Bam too.
We got Bam and KO.
And then we got KO, and then
Ethan got Udonis and Goran.
Ethan got UD and Goran, and then we both got A Rich at the time.
Wish we would have got Dion. Oh my god.
Yeah. Because Whittingham did like the FIFA interview with Josh, and then we did the gaming interview with Josh. Yeah. So that was fun.
My god, could you imagine a Dion interview with Heapy?
I talked to Dion at a practice once. He chewed gum, and then he kind of I said excuse me because I didn't understand, and he put his 2 fingers in his mouth, took the gum out, repeated the question, and then put the gum back and started chewing, which was amazing.
He did not.
It was incredible. It was incredible. I was like, Syracuse's finest. It was gum. I mean, honestly, like I was nervous because I was there and like most of the people had left. Like I think I forgot who. I mean, we were talking to Dion and then like Hassan came and then like the scrums go, everybody like kind of scurries off to Hassan, and it was just like me and like Barry and like Chang or Ira. I don't remember.
I mean, what a time! Everybody scurrying off for Hassan.
Yeah, that's how you know. Listen, that's how long ago that was.
Shit has changed. It was not even that long ago.
I mean, it's just. That Media Day was fun.
Eddie House.
I love Eddie House. Danny LaRue or Nate Duncan, who would win in a fight? Oh, Nate Duncan would fuck up Danny LaRue.
Question from TDVGT7. Who are your 3 most hated Heat killers in the league at the moment?
Well, Marcus Thornton is the first ballot Hall of Famer.
He's not even in the league anymore.
That's what I said.
In the league.
Evan Fournier.
I was gonna go. Yeah, I was gonna go him or Alfred Payton.
Jeff Green.
Jeff Green always goes off again. You don't remember the game winner?
Yeah,
didn't he have like a 40-point game against the Heat?
Yeah.
I remember cleaning that up.
Paul Mills.
I was at Titanic. I was at Titanic Brewery, in Coral Gables when he hit that shit. Ruined my night.
Rudy Gay. Do you guys remember that in LeBron's first year, the Rudy Gay game winner over LeBron?
That was brutal. That was the beginning of the season too.
Yeah.
That was when Haslam hurt his foot.
That was one of the worst nights
of my life. That was right in the beginning
of
the season.
Confetti.
They still weren't good. The Heat still hadn't figured it out yet.
Yeah.
Everybody was clowning them. I remember that.
Those motherfuckers had confetti.
That was the game. Corny. That was the game before the Dallas game. I'm pretty sure, like 2 games before that. It was like right around the same time.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, the Bumpgate. I missed Bumpgate. Bumpgate was.
We haven't talked about Bumpgate like ever. Bumpgate is. That has to be LeBron one of like the darkest points in Heat history.
No, but the best part about Bumpgate is Spo kind of took the hit and kind of kept going.
Right, so Spo could play the low man when he helps the helper. Like, he just absorb the contact.
Play the 4. That'd be amazing.
The charge.
Can Spo play the 4?
Look, Spo has only gotten bigger since then. I'm gonna tell you, he's in great shape.
Oh, he could probably
he's fit. Play some minutes.
He's handsome. I think he's like one of the more handsome coaches in the league.
You know what I love too? He always rocks J's. Like he always has on fresh kicks. Even in his wife's Christmas and Thanksgiving photos, he'll rock like whatever she wants him to wear. But he always has on J's. Always has on J's.
You guys just Spo's like a complete sneakerhead. He's like, damn it, I missed out on the StockX raffle again.
You guys need to do that interview. Next time
Jack says in chat, Bumpgate is when that Dolphins coach did all that coke.
What was his name?
Yo, this is good for the pod, man. That would have been a great place
This
to
is
end.
great. I mean, no, this
Oh,
is
God.
man.
Oh, okay. Great question in the chat. Recyclops305 is asking who gave Dion the gummies. We actually know the
No, we
answer.
can't. No, we
hold on,
cannot.
hold on.
We cannot
can't
betray
tell
the
you.
confidence. We cannot betray a confidence.
We can't tell you.
We cannot.
Oh,
We
but what
cannot.
is that? What is that? Why even
We
bring it
no,
up?
we can't.
Oh,
we
come
can't.
on.
No, we can't. We cannot.
Yeah, that's
betray
true.
confidence.
Brian shouldn't have brought it up.
Yeah,
Can I
Brian.
guess?
A
Can I
media
guess?
person told us. No, you can't. I'll tell you off air. A media person told us, and we will not betray the confidence that person told us.
Can-
I will
yeah,
not
no, we're not
DM
doing
you on Twitter. I'm sorry.
How about this? Since you
we're
brought it
not
up,
telling anybody.
I'm not gonna say it.
Join
I'm
the
not gonna say it.
Discord. Join the Discord. I'll put it on
I'm not
Discord.
gonna say
No,
it,
don't.
but it
No,
wasn't.
don't promise that.
I just want people to sign up.
Look, I'll give him something. It wasn't a Heat
No.
player.
No, I'm not saying shit.
All right.
That's it.
You know, it's kind of weird, like, being by Alex, when
Later.
you're kind of media adjacent, or when you're media, and you kind of know where like some of the bodies are buried, and it's like, man, we know like stories that we can't tell. It's like a weird experience, right, Alex?
I don't know about any bodies. I don't know what you're talking about. No,
What do you
but
mean?
no, I mean, I get what you mean. Like, I'm definitely trying not to betray anybody's confidences. It's
Like shit
definitely
you hear in the
none of my
locker
information.
room, or shit that you overhear in the the media room, or like people are telling stories, or like shit you've heard, or just kind of
So this is live only, right?
yeah, we're live.
I mean, it's gonna be archived.
Is it gonna be on the? Okay, you know what? Never mind. You see, now I
Like
just
for
did
how
it
long?
right.
Like 2 days? No, not 20 days. 20 days, right?
Yeah, no, Twitch keeps a VOD. That's better. Play it safe.
Yeah, it's
Alex.
going on YouTube too.
Yeah, play it safe. You still have credentials. We don't.
I think we may cut part
For
of
now.
this for YouTube. I don't know. Well, I haven't decided yet. Yeah, and Brian M makes a good point. It can be clipped. Is that it, guys? You guys have any more questions before I feel like we came back for the jersey thing, and I don't know. You guys have
You just
anything else
ended
you
too
want-
early.
I mean, we've been going for like an hour and 20 minutes. I mean, that's quite the pod. I mean,
Jack's joke would have been a great place to end it, but I know it's live.
We could still.
Jack's hysterical. No, I end live. Like I'll hard out. Like I'll cut hard, and that's kind of like what we do.
Yeah, shout out to the
but-
32 people still watching.
Oh yeah, dude, Jack's hilarious. Jack's like legit like one of the funniest people I've ever met.
Jack needs to get some sleep, though. I feel concerned for him.
Yeah, it's late, man.
I'm
I
glad
have a
that
question.
shifted from me
What's
to him.
Alex's favorite strip club in Miami?
All right, let's
Listen,
end on
man,
this
I-
one.
I don't have a lot of
Huh?
experience. That's a question for Alf.
No,
Now,
hold on.
if you-
I do what I
Now,
want
if
to
you
tell
want
a
to talk
story.
about where's my favorite place to pick up people, I
Bull
mean, the
bar.
strip clubs.
Bull bar.
No,
Is that not even a strip club?
Is
Listen,
Bull Bar-
man.
do you think Bull Bar survived the pandemic?
No.
I
no,
hope so.
man, no. I'm telling you,
No?
as somebody who drives there, no.
No.
The place
Oh.
next to them definitely survived, and they're thriving. Batting cages,
Yeah.
they're thriving. I can tell you that. But
So
people have been going to those Hallandale strip clubs, man, ever since the curfew started, because they haven't been
what did
curfewing
Alf
over
say?
there.
Did you listen to the
I haven't
last
been going
one?
inside, but my God, they have been packing the shit out of those strip clubs every night. So that tells you about
Oh,
where we
hold
are.
on, wait. Special guest.
Oh, please,
Special guest.
Please.
What's
no.
going on?
Special guest.
Oh man.
I hope he's wearing something.
I hope he's not.
What, like clothes?
I don't know how late it is.
What do you think, Jack? What's up, Jack?
Still can't hear him. There we go.
What you doing? How you doing?
What the fuck are you guys still doing on?
I don't know.
The
We're
stream
kinda
was
having
supposed
fun.
to. Okay.
Are you
What
objecting?
time is it
What?
where you are? What time is it?
It's 6 hours ahead, so it's like 3 in the morning.
It's not 3 a.m. yet.
It's 2 a.m.
Are you gonna be able
It's
to
2 in the
host the
morning.
pregame tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, I have to be on the schedule anyway. When you think about it.
I mean, the Weird Alf pregame show. By the way, spoiler alert: we're doing the Weird Alf pregame show. That's the new branding we're gonna
I'm
give.
taking
it to.
over. Me and Christian Hernandez have had enough of Giancarlo Navas's shit.
So you guys,
So
are you going to be hosting
we're
that?
taking over.
Yeah, Jack.
I'm going to be hosting the pregame show soon.
It's not a bit, by the way.
What?
Well, it's not a bit.
It kind of is a giant bit. It's a giant bit, which is why it's going to be good.
It's very serious to me. It's not a bit. I'm going to be hosting it.
The Weird Alf pregame show, Alex. All right, that's exciting.
I'm excited.
I guess.
Chat's asking, what's your favorite time of the day, Alex?
Oh, the end of the day for sure. Yeah, I was about to answer that seriously.
That's
It's a lot. What a weird question.
That was a great question.
That's a great answer.
Can someone clip that?
That's what they were lobbing me up for.
Yeah. Yo, somebody clip that, please. Yo, if people chat's happy, they wanted that.
It's so bad. Honestly,
great.
it's bad too because I say no doubt about it way more than I say at the end of the day. Like I'll say no doubt about it like 5 times.
You didn't even give one end of the day.
Did you watch the
I don't do it
video?
that much.
Did you watch that video on Twitter today of like the minute conversation of no conversation on a podcast?
Yeah.
That's
Gave me a lot of Giancarlo vibes. I don't know. It reminded me more of Giancarlo, but
what about me? Oh, the podcast video? That shit was really funny.
This is so important.
Yeah.
This is why we have you on.
Never mind. That's too much to play. All right. Well, I think that's our show. Listen to Hangover Time tomorrow after the Heat game. Listen to the pregame show before the pregame show before the game.
Listen to the pregame show.
Jack's gonna be on. I'm gonna be on. Kevin, our good friend, Celtics correspondent, honorary Heat member. Kev coming on the pregame.
Big time guest for Jack's first show.
That's not Jack's first show. We're getting Jack Brandon. I think we're doing next week. It's Jack's first show.
Oh.
I still host the pregame.
I'm not ready yet.
I'm not letting go just yet, Alex.
I have to go through extensive media training
You're like
to make sure I don't say anything dumb.
Stuttgart School of Broadcasting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to Syracuse.
Like Dion. You and Dion. All right. Well, chat, that's been our show. Appreciate y'all. Click the follow button out here. Follow us on Twitter at MIHP.
Oh, we got a clip.
Yeah, Brian M got the clip. We'll appreciate y'all. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. Yo, honestly, y'all, if you all 27 of you still here, because we've gone a little late. If you could subscribe to the YouTube, that'd be huge. Because the more subscribers, the more money we get. And
we get 100 subscribers. We'll tell you who gave them the gummy.
No, we won't.
It was me.
We won't. It was me.
Oh, damn. Way to give it away.
All right, y'all. Peace out. Appreciate y'all, chat.